When we first saw this machine, it was nothing short of astonishing. We had to completely rethink the history of technology because of this one remarkable object. It's an incredibly clever, extraordinary, and sophisticated machine, completely shocking for ancient Greece. 120 years ago, sponge divers stumbled upon a shipwreck off the tiny island of Antikythera in Greece. What they found changed our understanding of human history forever. Among the treasure trove were exquisite marble statues, elegant vases, glistening jewelry, and ancient coins. But they also discovered what seemed to be a hunk of corroded metal, initially dismissed as unremarkable. At first, it was just a corroded lump about the size of a large dictionary, not recognized as anything of interest. However, in 1902, the discovery of gear wheels inside it sparked a wave of excitement. This was the first shock. Ancient Greece simply shouldn't have gear wheels like these. In the 1970s, a team of researchers used X-rays to uncover the first hidden secrets of the device. Dozens of cogs, intricately hidden within, were finally revealed. However, scientists had to wait until the breakthrough of 3D X-ray technology that they could truly separate and analyze these gears. They transported a massive 8-ton X-ray machine to Athens, installed it in the museum, and meticulously scanned all 82 surviving fragments of this ancient mechanism. And when they saw the results for the first time, the revelation was nothing short of astonishing. The scans unveiled the gear wheels in 3 dimensions, allowing each one to be separated and studied in stunning detail. But that wasn't all. Hidden within the fragments were inscriptions that no one had ever seen before. A whole new world of secrets emerged, including a user guide, buried deep within the layers of corroded bronze. This was an extraordinary and thrilling discovery, one that opened up untold mysteries from the past. The 3D X-ray results have confirmed that the Antikythera mechanism contains at least 30 interlocking bronze gears, meticulously arranged to replicate the cycles of the cosmos. These were precision gears with teeth about a millimeter long, which was utterly unexpected. The device functions through a series of rotating gears that track the movements of the cosmos. The cosmos here refers to the sun, the moon, the planets, and their positions against the stars. It has 2 primary dials, one for the solar calendar and another for lunar phases. The main gear, driven by a hand-cranked knob, rotates the other gears, which in turn move the various pointers on the dials to indicate celestial positions. The front dial displays the solar calendar and its relation to the zodiac, while the back dial tracks the lunar months and predicts eclipses. The mechanism also includes a dial for the Metonic cycle, a 19-year period after which the phases of the moon repeat on the same days of the year, crucial for ancient calendrical calculations. In 2016, a professor called Alexander Jones made a remarkable discovery in this front cover inscription. And in the Venus section, he found the number 462. And in the Saturn section, he found the number 442. And these were utterly astonishing numbers. Nobody had seen them in ancient astronomy anywhere, either ancient Babylon or ancient Greece. Jones identified these as very accurate cycles of Venus and Saturn. The presence of these numbers meant that they must have been incorporated into the gears of the Antikythera mechanism. How were they discovered by the ancient Greeks? And what were the cycles for the other planets? How did the ancient Greeks discover the new 462-year period for Venus and 442-year period for Saturn? The scientists found an original solution, based on an idea by the philosopher Parmenides of Eleure and described in a dialogue by Plato. Ancient astronomers knew of 2 periods for Venus. 5 synodic cycles in 8 years has small enough factors but is very inaccurate. 720 synodic cycles in 1,151 years is unfactorizable. The basic idea, inspired by Parmenides, was to add known cycles to get better ones in an iterative process. The Parmenides process also works for Saturn to get the 442-year cycle from the back cover, and Parmenides succeeds for all the other planets, often with multiple choices. How do they choose? Throughout the mechanism, gears are shared between functions to economies on the number of gears. For example, a surviving gear with the prime number 223 teeth is shared between eclipse prediction and the variable motion of the moon. No need to cut 2 separate gears. To share gears, planetary mechanisms need shared prime factors. This idea enables us to choose cycles for Mercury and Venus with the shared prime 17 and cycles for Mars, Jupiter and Saturn with the shared prime 7, meaning great economies in the number of gears. Now we know all the planetary cycles built into the mechanism, but exactly how this machine was created, we will find out right now. Though the main drive wheel shows clear evidence of a complex system of gears mounted on bearings on the spokes, there are also pillars on the periphery near the input crown gear. The X-rays revealed that the pillars had shoulders and are pierced for attachment pins. They also show that originally there were 4 short and 4 long pillars. There must have been a rectangular plate on the short pillars and a circular plate on the long pillars, with a hole in the middle for the outputs, suggesting that nearly all the gears were crammed into this space, just 25 millimeters high. This is the basic framework for the construction. Now, year period into the gearing by using the cycle's prime factors in the tooth counts of the gears. The first prime 17 goes into a gear with 51 teeth, a multiple of 17 which is fixed at the center. 2 and 11 go into a 44-tooth gear, meshing with the central gear on the bearing and spoke C. The second factor 17 is carried by a gear with 34 teeth, fixed to the 44-tooth gear. They still needed the factors 3 and 7. Fragment D, only about 4 centimeters high, which is a disc. Next to this disc is a gear with 63 teeth, which is fixed at the center. The missing primes 3 and 7 are prime factors of 63. Disc and gear are mounted on a square hub that changes to round so that it can turn in a bearing in a D-shaped plate. A pin on the disc engages with a slotted follower to generate the variable motion of Venus. Now the 63-tooth gear can use its prime factors 3 and 7 to calculate the 462-year cycle of Venus. A tube transmits the variable motion of Venus. Everything is secured by the plate on the short pillars. The variable motion is carried to a ring display for Venus, here in retrograde motion before reaching a stationary point. From the back, the pin and slot mechanism can be seen reversing its effect to return Venus to prograde motion. Fixed gears, one for Mercury and Venus, the other for the nodes of the moon. The variable lunar output through the center. Then the bar and tube for the mean sun. The nodes are turned by these gears and output tube. The initial gears for Mercury and Venus, followed by their final epicyclic gears. Discs with pins attached and slotted followers. Then the circular plate for the true Sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, which share many gears. The eccentric axes are the foundation for the pin and slot devices, which generate the variable motions. The novel 7-gear planetary mechanisms calculate the astronomical cycles, and they output via nested tubes in the center. Finally, the output for the true Sun. Everything turns against a fixed gear with 56 teeth, which shares the prime number 7 between Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Attached to the tubes, the output rings create the cosmos display for the Sun and planets. A pointer for the date for the true Sun and a double-ended pointer for the nodes of the Moon. A small gear to carry the mean Sun rotation to the Moon phase device, whose pointer shows the position of the Moon. The display exactly matches the ring description on the back cover. The planetary rings are inscribed with index letters, referencing the catalog of synodic events on the front cover. For ancient Greece, it is a system of staggering complexity and ambition. But there is still one last mystery. Where is the location of the Earth? Before deciphering this mystery, let's review the simulation of the positions of the planets calculated by this computer. Have you noticed all the planets that seem to revolve around a mysterious object? Yes, that mysterious object is the Earth. Why is the Earth in the center? That's because in ancient Greece, people still thought that the Earth was the center of the universe. The Antikythera mechanism's design includes a series of interlocking gears that model the cycles of the moon and the solar year, showing that ancient Greeks had a profound understanding of astronomy and mechanical engineering. What's truly astonishing is that such a device was not only built, but used effectively in an era when most technology was rudimentary at best. Sadly, this beyond the time technology came to a standstill as the Hellenistic world crumbled, and the ancient wisdom slipped into the shadows during the Roman and early medieval periods. As the centers of knowledge dimmed and the focus of minds turned away from science, the secrets of creating such remarkable devices seemed to vanish into the ether. This enigmatic invention, full of untapped potential, became a lone beacon of a forgotten era, its mysteries never to be fully unlocked. If you're fascinated by the unsolved mysteries of history and want to dive deeper into timeless technologies like the Antikythera mechanism, hit that subscribe button now! Don't miss out on our exciting adventures into the ancient world and its hidden secrets. Join us as we unlock the doors to forgotten knowledge and crack the codes of ancient wonders, with a little bit of fun along the way.